a place once scorched by the heat of combat, is now blooming with quiet redemption. For these veterans, the journey back to Vietnam is more than a physical one. It's a return to the source of pain. Guiding them through is Ed Tex Stidler. When Tex was wounded and evacuated from Vietnam in 1968, the US Marine Corps veteran hoped never to return. But around 25 years ago, he did come back, driven by nightmares that wouldn't let him rest.
I had nightmares, the same nightmare always. Reaching out to help someone and all you come back with is a hand, you can't bring that person in. And then you know, you're startled and you wake up.
Was that a reoccurring thing?
Yes, for many years. And until I returned to Vietnam, and I don't have that.
James Gunny Gregory. At just 19 years old, he enlisted in the Marines. Now 76, he moves much slower, his knees stiff with age.
Damn.
The Vin Moc tunnels, the opening was low and narrow, half hidden. But Gunny remembers it well. Its shape, its shadow, the way it used to breathe with whispers of fear. Looking back now, has your perspective on war changed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we probably shouldn't have been here.
Though he survived, US veteran Matthew Keenan carried the war home with him, in his memories, his bones, and his blood.
When I found out my friends and myself had problems with exposure to dioxin, Agent Orange, the chemical, most dangerous chemical ever created, started getting sick, some of them dying, I and myself having been diagnosed. And my military records, I have the document. It says my illness is caused by exposure to herbicides in Southeast Asia. I said to myself, I have to go back to where it happened. It's okay to speak to doctors and friends who were there and did experience this, but I needed to go back. I wanted to see how it affected the Vietnamese people. That's where they sprayed it. The Vietnamese people have to live with it. The Vietnamese people must be affected by it. They must be getting sick from this. I need to learn from them.
While still mourning the loss of his friend, Matthew found comfort on the other side of the world. He found it in a place he never expected, in the rooms of the Da Nang Association of Victims of Agent Orange, surrounded by people who bore the same wounds. There, he made a new friend, Nguyen Ngoc Phương. Like many others in the central and southern region of Vietnam, Phung's father was exposed to Agent Orange during the war, and that poison had passed down to him like a cruel inheritance.
There seems to be a lack of wanting to have peace. There seems to be it's almost obsessive that certain areas of the world thrive on the conflict. They thrive on getting back. They thrive on, destruction and elimination and using the most dangerous weapon mechanisms that you can find. But I just remember the tragedy of the effect of war on people who are not involved in it. These are women and children. They just wanted to live life. They didn't, they weren't involved with the politics of this whole thing. They wouldn't have weapons. They weren't fighting. They were just victims of the circumstances. So that's something that I always hold, and it will never go away. Very traumatic.